Good morning from the deck in Morzine. Just back from my recovery ride this morning, just as I start my taper period into the GALIBIER challenge this weekend. Just had a quick look at the weather forecast, and the wind direction seems to be playing in favour of a tailwind in probably the section that I'm dreading the most, which is that long straight. I suppose I would call it a false flat, but it's more like a 4 or 5% average in the middle, and that descent between the Telegraph and the GALIBIER I think is going to be crucial. But yeah, it seems like we've got a tailwind. We've got a weigh-in, see where I'm at after a bit of a lighter week on the bike. So yeah, don't know where I'll be, but I'm going to let you into a little secret of how I track and manage my nutrition. We'll go into that in a little bit more detail, but first of all, let's get the weigh-in done, and then we'll get into the kitchen to do some prep. I've been using ChatGPT now as a nutritional guide for about 3 months. So I come out the winter, busy period in the chalet. So like portion control kind of goes out the window. And to be honest, I feel like if I don't do that in the winter, then it's a long season to try and manage your nutrition. So I come out the winter at 58.5 kilos, I think. Still maintaining good endurance on the bike, not really doing too much high intensity, where like the higher intensity sessions your weight does tend to fall off a bit quicker anyway. But with ChatGPT, I just gave it as much information as I could. For example, what my sessions were, what my FTP is, so it can work out, like, based on my average watts, how many sort of calories I'm going to burn. And then it started breaking down portion sizes, grams per hour on the bike that I needed specifically for me, and then a target weight that I put in for British National Hill Climb for the end of October. So it's a gradual process. So I'm losing effectively 5 kilos over 7 or 8 months. Within that period, crucially, is my stag do and my wedding, where, you know, I can have a bit of a fluctuation, but ultimately the more information I give ChatGPT, the more it counters it. And to be honest, like, it's been seamless. Like, I am now, you'll see I'm 55.3 kilos, I think, after weigh-in this morning, and I don't feel like I have done at 55 kilos in the past coming into hill climb season, where actually malnourished. And crucially, within this period, I've been pushing quite heavy weights in the gym, so I'm really trying to build muscle mass in the legs. So ultimately, I am at altitude, kind of. We live at 1,000 meters, so blood volume is thicker. And then also I'm in the gym, but I'm still weighing in at 55.3 kilos. So it's really interesting. I'm going to hover at this weight now for a couple of months before just a final strip down of the weight, sort of coming into October. So what that'll mean is, for me, the numbers will be consolidated at this weight rather than stripping it later on. And it's a tactic that I'm trialing this year, and we'll see how it goes. But I will say, I don't think it translates perfectly to these longer climbs. I think I could do with a little bit more weight, but ultimately this period of racing in the Alps is a bit of a B priority, if you like, whereas the British Hill Climb is very much an AAA star priority, so I'm always building up to that. So yeah, we'll see how we go, but I think it's a really good insight of how I've managed it, and yeah, it's amazed me really. Like, I'm not hungry. Do feel like it's been done at a good rate. So yeah, the true test will be later in the year, but it's a good insight at this point. So the weather has improved a lot, so I'm going to do my pre-race ride in and around Morzine. It's dried off a little bit. Have this coffee, get on the bike, and go and get the legs ready for tomorrow. Amazingly, it's brightened up. So, just in time really for some openers on the Col d'Encrenaz. And yeah, get this rain jacket off, get the legs open, home for lunch, and then we'll get on the road. See you in a bit. And that is why I didn't want to go too far away from home today, because I just got caught in it again. Just come out of nowhere. Life in the mountains, but session's done just without a cool down. But it's okay. Soaked. So we have arrived. Sort of staying on the other side of the Col de Telegraph, so it's after the descent. So I've managed to drive very slowly at the Telegraph and get a bit of a driven recon in there, and then I think once I'm kind of up there, oh, 1 second, dog's eating shit. Yeah, anyway, yeah, once I'm up there, I feel like I'm just going to be into a bit of an effort by then. I think sort of tie it together with just holding the pace, because I've looked on the map and there's this long straight section from the hotel which I'm staying in, which is there. The velobus is, oh, I can't work that out. There. And yeah, it's like 4 miles straight. So I think if there's a group, it'll be perfect to kind of work together over the top of the Telegraph and then try and get to where the Galibier kicks up a little bit. But yeah, interesting. Legs are feeling fine after the travel, and yeah, just had me dinner and walk the dogs and go and put my feet up for the night and get ready for the morning. It's going to be an early start, so see you in the morning. Good morning. It is 5:50 a.m. We've been up 20 minutes, I've had my breakfast, just stretching the legs and walking these two, and I'm going to be heading up there in around 2 hours, maybe a bit more, but yeah, slept alright, just ready to get going, to be honest. Weather seems okay, it's been dry overnight, not the warmest, but I'm at 1600 metres, we've got another 800 metres to climb from here as well, so something to consider. And yeah, that's about it really. Just hoping to find a coffee somewhere. The lady in the hotel said she'd be up about 6:30. But it is a bit of a ghost town up here. Anyway, the dog's in a squat position, so that is my call. And I'll see you out on the bike. So just while I have a coffee, just going to talk you through my bike setup for the race, which is my new Officine Mattio SL in a 48cm frame, kitted out with Dura Ace on these integrated 36mm bars and a 110 stem. It's a beautiful carbon finish, no paint on it, a new Rouleur 3D printed saddle, and a freshly waxed chain done by myself on my 5440 34 tooth setup, and I've actually put my reserve wheels on, which are set up tubeless with the GP5000's TTR in a 28mm. And just in case you didn't know, that was my bike with my initials on it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this new setup. Okay, back in Morzine, post-race analysis and reaction. I actually think it went really well. Like my predictions beforehand when I spoke about the group coming over the top together of the Telegraph basically happened, but I got spat with about 400 metres to go, which was fair enough. Like, these guys were super strong, and there is no way on that flat section that someone like me, well mid 50 kg weight, is going to pull a turn on the long straight section. And like, there was a few repeated attacks, and the final one, this 400 watt ramp at about 35 minutes in, really did sting the legs, and I sort of got out the saddle to give it a kick, and there was nothing happening. And yeah, this guy in full Ineos kit, like full bike, full kit, he rode the front for the first 35 minutes, and then there was two very strong lads that finished first and second in the end, actually, that were doing these repeated attacks to try and get rid of everyone. And this guy set a super strong tempo. Like, for the first 10 minutes, I think I averaged around 3:15, and then it settled after 20 minutes to around 300, and then it dropped to around 290 at half an hour. But after half an hour, that's still for me 5.5 watt per kilo in the wheels on a 7.5% climb. And I think I came into this wanting that exposure to responding to attacks, something that you can't do in training. And I'm not making an excuse, but the way that I train is very much flat line. And you can see from a session here that this is my time trialing background, if you like, from the UK. But I think with the ability to respond to attacks is really important. Even though average power might be down, actually those spikes, those uncontrollable spikes that you can't do in training is really vital, I think. And we're a couple of days on now, and I've been for a recovery ride yesterday, and I've done 5 hours today. And sensations in the legs at a higher endurance pace than I was riding last week is better. And I think that comes from the stimulus of those race attacks, and that's exactly why I want to be in those mass start hill climbs in a racing style. And yeah, I could have ridden it as a time trial and not held with that front group for the first section, and probably finished with around about the same time, and maybe done a quicker time on the GALIBIER. But the idea was just to hang with the front group for as long as I could, and yeah, first and second on the day decided they didn't want any passengers. And the gaps in the result, I think there was 2 minutes between first and second, and the winner was extremely strong. When we were in the group of 6 on the Telegraph, he was the 6th wheel, keeping an eye on everyone. And I pulled out the group and had a look at him. I was like, yeah, he's going to win. He just looked so comfortable. He was chilling while we were absolutely on our limits. So it would have been really interesting to see when he sort of broke away and dispatched the others, because I've seen on the pictures, on the GALIBIER pictures, that all the riders ahead of me were riding the GALIBIER as individuals. So it would have been really interesting to see when that split. And I collected I got caught actually on the straight section. I thought I would, the bit that I was dreading, almost this like long 4-5% before what I would say the GALIBIER started again at 8 kilometers to go. We have this 10k of dreaded false flat for me, and I got caught. But it was just as well, really, because we got some really nice footage, met a really nice guy, and he came second in his category. He stayed with me for about 3k, and then I asked him to get some videos, which was really cool, because I didn't have my phone on me, and the footage wasn't great from the Insta, so it was really useful and a great guy to meet, and congratulations to him on a great ride.
A video for the memory. Hey, how do you feel? Weird. It's a hard climb. It's a hard climb, but I feel like riding at a fairly decent pace, but it's just hard to catch your breath. Perfect.
And then his dad was actually at the top. We got this video of me finishing. Absolute legend. Thank you very much.
Et un grand merci donc aux secouristes qui vont pouvoir s'installer tranquillement et qui vont réconforter. Je peux vous dire, il y en a qui vont avoir un petit peu froid, puis il y a toujours cette émotion palpable une fois qu'on a effectué son effort, et les concurrents qui continuent de...
I think riding the GALIBIER at my own pace actually worked well, and I think that was everyone else's tactic, was to go full gas, like full beans on the Telegraph. Like I said, that guy in Ineos kit just rode such a strong tempo. I reckon he must have been doing over 6 watt per kilo for that half an hour. Just absolutely drilling it. No one could really come round. I don't think anyone wanted to. and then it was a time trial effort at the GALIBIER. But I think if I could have held on, it would have been really interesting to see then what would have happened on the GALIBIER. I honestly think I wouldn't have had the legs had I had to hang on a wheel on a 4% at that power, because I wouldn't have been able to really effectively stand up. So I think it was as good as a first attempt at this race could be. And I think now, like, Alpe d'Huez is next Friday on the 20th, which I'm hoping to do a sub 50. You know, I've got in the bank now what I can do for an hour 50. So I always think if you can push yourself in a duration capacity, it makes it easier when the duration comes down. That's what I'm hoping. It's still going to hurt. I know it's going to hurt, but let's see. So that will be our next video, and we will see how we do. It's part of the Marmot series, Mass Start Hill Climb on the Friday night. I've never ridden Alpe d'Huez before. I was there 9 years ago with a broken shoulder, and my mate went to ride it, and I stood at the window and sort of waited for his return, and then we've never done it. Funnily enough, I actually broke my shoulder mountain biking in Morzine, and then we went over there, and then yeah, no more road cycling that holiday. Couldn't even extend my arm to the bar. So this will be my first attempt on Alpe d'Huez, racing it. So looking forward to the experience. So please check in, see how I do, and yeah, catch you all soon.